Hi. Okay, so what I wanted to discuss was what you should do or how to prepare for when you're meeting with an insolvency practitioner. So the way it works at Parker Walsh is that we would have a telephone conversation and I'd just get the basic details. Um, Obviously your name, contact details, the limited company name or number, and then what it is that you want to discuss, what the problems are and what you want to achieve, and then we would set up a meeting. Typically that meeting would be held at the company's premises, just so I can get a feel for the type of business and an understanding of the company. So what should you do to prepare for that meeting? Well, essentially you don't have to do anything. The first time we meet, it's going to be informal, just having a chat, getting to understand the business, the problems, and putting a strategy in place. And then obviously going away, having a think about it, coming back to me if you want to continue. So you don't actually have to have everything prepared and everything ready. But to get the most out of the meeting, what would be useful is a list of the company's assets. Now, if that's the cash at bank, just a rough idea of the balance. It doesn't have to be to the penny. If you had tangible assets, which are assets that you can touch, such as tables and chairs, and maybe some stock, I would have ready a stock list and possibly some pictures. Or if all the assets are on site whilst I'm there, I'll just have a walk around and maybe take some pictures myself. Um, the reason why I ask for this information is it's so I can make an informed decision as to whether or not I need a valuer to come out and do a full inventory and do a valuation. It all depends on the type of business and the stock and the assets that are there. So a list of the company's assets would be useful, or if people owe the company money, a rough amount of how much that is. Don't concern yourself with getting exact figures, because I appreciate that when I come out to possibly, if the company is going into liquidation, down the line there's going to be a change, a fluctuation in those figures, but just a rough idea of what assets the company has, and then a list of its creditors. So roughly how much does it owe to people? So obviously covering off HMRC for pay-as-you-earn, VAT and possibly corporation tax, whether there's a bounce back loan, whether there's loans to other companies, and then your trade creditors. Again, it doesn't have to be to the penny, because I appreciate it will change, but just a rough idea as to who is owed what. And that would be really useful in the meeting. The second area that you might want to look at prior to me coming out is whether or not you owe money to the company, which is known as an Overdrawn Directors Loan Account, because that can be integral to the advice that we give. So either look at your management accounts, or if it's not there or you don't have management accounts, look at the last set of accounts, or if you're on speaking terms with your accountant, possibly ask them. But don't worry if you don't know, we will look into it before it goes into liquidation, but that would be useful to know to go into the meeting. And then other than that, I think the only other thing that you could do is prepare some questions. If you've got anything that you want to ask, just have a list of questions so you don't forget in the meeting. So those would be the three things: is assets and liabilities of the company, overdrawn directors loan account, a list of questions. But don't worry, you don't just get one chance and one meeting to ask everything, and then if you don't ask it or we don't cover it in that meeting, then it's gone forever. It doesn't work like that. With my directors, I give them my email and my mobile number, and I'm available to them after that meeting. So if something comes to mind, they just ask. Just send me a text message, call me, email me, and we can run through it. But as I said, be great to prepare that information for the meeting. If you don't worry, there's lots of other opportunities. Okay, thank you very much.